Hey guys, welcome back to Halloweek. So if you don't know what this is 6 days, just about a week from Halloween going into November 6th, in which we are making up for some missing content because of busted cameras and computers or whatever else. A bunch of crazy stuff happened to us. And so I'm just telling some true life personal happenings that happened to me in the past that were weird events. I'm mainly focusing on an entity that my roommates and I called them. Them was something that wasn't malevolent or harsh or hurtful. They were just mischievous, like really tricksome. And I talked about teleporting headphones. I talked about disappearing socks and light bulbs. It's weird. Go watch the past two videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. Today, I want to talk to you about the only time that them did something dangerous. And it wasn't even like really dangerous. It was just something that you darn kids type dangerous. So a couple of times them did things while we were asleep. One night in particular, we were hanging out and there was a bunch of people over that night, and we had a lot of friends over all the time. We'd play video games, watch movies or whatever. We were a calm group of people when I was in college. And so we had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. And then we all went to bed that night. When we woke up the next morning, my roommate and I, we woke up at the same time. We had a morning class together. And so we walk out, and just behind our couch, there was a huge poster back there that I had framed. It was a beautiful print of a painting. It was just a poster, but it was really gorgeous. It's like Fantasy Bridge. I had it framed in like a cheap frame. And in that frame, the Ace of Spades was just sitting smack in the middle of the bottom part of the frame. We didn't measure it, but I feel like if you measured, it would have been the exact center of this frame. We didn't, so I don't know that for sure. That could be in my head. That could be exaggeration. But we not only polled everybody who lived in there, so me, Josh, and my other roommate Dan, we talked to everybody who was there that night. Did you guys pull out a deck of cards? Were you guys throwing cards around? Something happened. Everyone's like, no idea what you're talking about. Ace of Spades sitting smack in the middle of that frame one morning. That's not the dangerous one though. That one was just, we woke up, and that's a little bit creepy because usually them does stuff and it's mischievous, but we're present for that. When we're not there, that's just weird and creepy, or when we're not awake. There was another time though. We were college guys in the early 2000s, and so candles were a thing at the time. I don't know, maybe they're still a thing, but it wouldn't be uncommon for us to have like a just chill, relax, put on a movie, and we had like 30 candles around our house that we would light and just do whatever with. We did that pretty rarely though, and one day we went to sleep and we woke up in the morning and there was a candle that was lit. Now, coming home to the candles being lit, not uncommon. Coming home after the candles have been lit and there being one or two candles that are still lit because somebody tried to blow them out, but it didn't happen, not uncommon. But to wake up in the morning and have a candle still lit was not okay. Like, Josh was the first guy to wake up, but he woke me up when this happened because he wanted to scold me. He knew that I was the last one to bed that night. So he wakes me up and he says, Steve, did you leave a candle lit last night? Again, deservedly so. That's something to be worried about. I'm like, no, man, I didn't even light the candles last night. It's like, well, there's a candle lit. So I get up and I walk out there. There's a candle lit. And I point out, wait a second, man. The wax isn't even that melted. If this were overnight, that thing would be like 3 inches deep in this candle. It's just it looks like it's been 10, 20 minutes lit. And Josh is like, well, I'm the first one awake. I woke up 5 minutes ago and I didn't do it. And yet there was that candle, clearly lit, on fire, and yet only lit for a few minutes. So that's 2 times that overnight something happened. We woke up the next morning. Nobody had keys to our apartment. We didn't hand out copies to our friends or anything like that. Yet there was 2 things that happened overnight, an Ace of Spades and a lit candle. We'll see you guys next week on Halloweek. Tomorrow.